Stage can be anywhere you want it to be. This is a dance movie where mountaintops, ancient theatres, and living rooms become the stage.
ნაფოდი ჩამოქონდა ალვისის ჩამონათალი გადეხნა ფოტომი ამბე საყვალის ჩამონათალი ქარნანანინინანო ქარიანინანინანო ქარნანანინინანო ქარიანინანინანო გოგოგო გისა ჩამოდის ყისბისა წყალი მას ვიკოგითა გამაძენი კოცნითა ქარნანანინინანო ქარიანინანინანო ქარნანანინინანო ქარიანინანინანო ნარიჯის ფერი გადამოდის გოგო მედალ ლამაზი ქარფავალი სული ამოდის ზედან ქედნები ჩემი პონის დედნები ლამაზებს რომ დავინახავ ბოსავით დავდნები Robotis, Daridis, Perigadabodis, Gogo, Metadalamazi, Kantavari, Sulia, Bodis, Adalavida, Adalavida, Urduli, Urdulida, Adalavida, Urdulida, Karanadina, Dariadina, Adalavida, Adalavida, Urduli, Urdulida, Adalavida, Urdulida, Karanadina, Dariadina.
Dedas raduzi shinao, shini tole bigat khone, shini tole bigat khone, sheraham dagan shinao, sheraham dagan shinao. Zira maharo, neta visheni alesi, neta visheni alesi, vinginda ronga afaro, vinginda ronga afaro.
Sunquaya tizo dahe danete, ona ye yohe asadul ye nyawa, nyawa jizo he. O ila aji no we hangana lo.
Dost dost diyen nice nicesine sarıldım. Dost dost diyen nice nicesine sarıldım. Benim sadık yarim kara topraktır. Beyhude dolandım ey yar boşa yoruldum. Benim sadık yarim kara topraktır. Kara topraktır. Nice güzellere bağlandım kaldım, bağlandım kaldım. Nice güzellere ne yar bağlandım kaldım, bağlandım kaldım. Ne bir vefa gördüm, ne faydalandım. Her türlü isteğini yar topraktan aldım. Benim sadık yarim kara topraktır, kara topraktır. Koyun verdi kuzuyu, verdi süt verdi, verdi süt verdi. Koyun verdi kuzu kuzu verdi süt verdi, verdi süt verdi. Yemek verdi ekmek verdi et verdi. Kazma ile dövme dövme yiyince gıt verdi. Benim sadık yarim kara topraktır, kara topraktır. Karnın yardım kazmayı inan beline, ey yar beline. Karnın yardım kazmayı inan beline, yine yar beline. Yüzü yırttın tırnağı kınan eline. Yine beni karşı karşıyaladı gülünen. Benim sadık yarim kara topraktır, kara topraktır. Her kim ki olursa bu sırra mazhar, bu sırra mazhar. Her kim olursan eğer bu sırra mazhar, bu sırra mazhar. Dünyaya bırakır ölmez bir eser. Gün gelir veselin ey yar bağrına basar. Benim sadık yarim kara topraktır, kara topraktır. Benim sadık yarim kara topraktır, kara topraktır.
Sunquaya tizo dahe danete, ona ye yo he asadul ye nyawa, nyawa jizo he. O ila aji no we hangana lunkwage. Sada deli waganyastak, yo hahi yo zata hida seli. Wagwenyastak yetinistaha ohunja. Sunquaya tizo dahe danete, ona ye yo he asadul ye nyawa, nyawa jizo he. O ila aji no we hangana lunkwage. Sada deli waganyastak, yo hahi yo zata hida seli. Wagwenyastak yetinistaha ohunja. Sunquaya tizo dahe danete, ona ye yo he asadul ye nyawa, nyawa jizo he. O ila aji no we hangana lunkwage.
Welcome to the No Labels, No Walls Festival 2020. My name is Markus Vähälä, live from Finland. Welcome all of you watching this live stream all over the world. No Labels, No Walls Plus, we are one festival, 100 events, 10 countries, a lot of people. Your host today in this Q&A, Mr. Markus Raivio from Kukunori, Finland.
Thank you, Brother Markus, and welcome back to Zoom. And thank you so much for your presentation. It was such a beautiful show. So we have a question and answer moment here, and we can ask some questions from Kimilti. And I would like Kimilti to a little bit introduce themselves. And also I have one question. In the first of all, that, you know, I can see that the world is your stage. But I couldn't help to wonder, where is the music? Is it the wind and the sound of the nature? Or how do you see it? Please introduce yourself, Kimilti.
Thank you. Kiitos. Teşekkürler. Merci. So for watching our show. So I am Gizem Şengör, the lead dancer of Kimilti, and here is Ecem, who is in charge of all the visual things behind Kimilti. And so, as you said, the whole world is our stage. And yes, actually, when we are dancing, when we are making these dances, there is no music most of the times. It's the wind, the sound of the birds, the leaves that make the music. And I kind of, depending on the landscape in front of me, I kind of imagine a tune that I think goes with the landscape. Also, as you can see, this is all like on top of the mountain. You don't start a journey on top of the mountain or by the lake. There's some hiking, there is some path that gets you there. So as we are taking that path with whoever is around me, I imagine along the way, like what the mood of the place is. And then with respect to that, I imagine the music, I imagine the moves that I think go with it.
Sounds wonderful, Kimilti. So how did this all started? Where did you get the idea, and how did you start to do this kind of art form?
Okay, it actually started with photography. During summer vacation, my family likes to, like wherever we go for swimming, we also find an ancient city to go visit. And this is very easy to do in Turkey. And we would take photos on the ancient theater stages. I would make a pose of dance, or like there would be empty statue pedestals, and my mom would ask us to pose like a statue. And then, so I started collecting these dance photography. Then I began being more interested into choreography. And I thought, okay, it's not easy to find dancers all the time. It's not easy to find a show to perform at. So I will just make a choreography for myself. But then you cannot rent a normal stage just, you know, to do a one-person show. So I started looking for places outside with no people around where I could dance. And then I thought, okay, wherever I go, I can find such a place. So why not use the whole world as a stage? But also, the very first time we filmed, it was Ecem who filmed it. We were at Arthur's Seat in Edinburgh. And now, maybe you would like to say it? I mean, a few words.
It was a bit spontaneous, I guess. I mean, maybe Gizem thought of it before, but for me, it was a bit spontaneous. So, I mean, she danced and we filmed it, I guess.
Yeah, she had the camera and I started moving. And so, you know, everything was in place. Nothing was pre-thought of, but everything was in place. So it was like, why not film it? And then we collected these dances. And then we thought YouTube would be a good outlet to, because no art is finished until it meets its audience. And so we thought we will just gather our audience through YouTube. And now we are here.
I'm so glad that you are here. We have a question from Anita. How many places have you danced?
I don't know. I mean, in the video, you've seen from US to Turkey, Peru to Georgia. And then there's like a lot of places within Turkey.
Yes, I mean, she travels a lot. And she travels as I mean, she likes to travel, and she travels because of her work as well a bit. Since she's a scientist, she goes to certain places. She takes every opportunity that she can dance and film. So there's a lot of places that she has went to.
That sounds great. And what a great way to travel. And you know, you can go there and dance and film it. Where do you find the courage to dance in public places? Do you ever feel like being shy to dance if there are some different people around you?
Normally, when I am doing these dances, there is no one around. Or if there are people with whom I have already been in the hike, in the journey. So like if it's within a trip, it's already people I know of. And if that's the case, like if it's with a hiking group, the people in the group also take ownership of it. They also start filming, and they also start saying, look, Gizem, this is a beautiful spot, dance here, dance there. So it's really not just me doing it, but it's everyone around there pulling these things together. But yes, so most of the time there is no audience.
Oh, that sounds so nice way to connect with people. What kind of feedback have you received? Anita is asking.
I think the greatest feedback was people like saying this, dance here, dance there too during these hikes, or people being willing to be the cameraman, to step behind the camera. But then also very recently, because we were under the lockdown, I started making movies at home when I could not go outside. And someone in the comments of the YouTube video, someone asked for me to film something with the mask and the gloves. So I think that was the first time I was asked by the audience to put together a piece. And I think that was the biggest feedback I ever had. Like it was someone I have never met, I never know.
Sounds very good. So do we have more questions for Kimilti? Where do we see you next time? What happens in the near future? Where are you going to be?
I mean, we are always on YouTube. So if you type Kimilti, we come up. And we put a new video every Friday or Saturday. Except once in a while, we take breaks. Like in the summer, we give like a 1.5 month long break. And also one time in the winter. It's kind of like school holiday times. We also give a Kimilti break. But yeah, we are there. And also on Instagram, again, if you write Kimilti, you will find us. And there you find the photography behind the dances.
Sounds perfect. And I'm sure we're going to check you online from social media. So do we have more questions for Kimilti? Michael is waving his hand from Los Angeles.
We can't hear.
Yes, sorry about that. I was just wondering, I know, like, I guess it's in your videos about the lockdowns and everything that's been happening. So your work is so much outside. How is kind of being now confined affected your work? And then I guess, what kind of new dances do you want to create in the future?
Yes. Actually, let me first talk about the lockdown. So at first I thought, okay, so Kimilti goes for vacation because, I mean, we have some dances we've already filmed, but we don't want to use them all at once. it's not like we film and we post it right away. So there is like a backup library, but I didn't want to use it up. Then I came across these online ballet classes. And so I started practicing with them because I regularly practice ballet. So I went from Dutch National Theatre to İlke Kodal, a principal dancer at Istanbul National Opera and Ballet, to Kirov Academy, so a bunch of online classes. Also, there is a theater group I go to for amateurs called Giving Voice at Prague. And it's kind of theater and dance together. And there we were given a homework. Berrak Yedek gave us a homework. And she said to do some moves at home. So then I thought, okay, so I can do this homework and I can also keep up some kind of a routine at home. So why not also start thinking how to film at home? And that became pretty interesting because out there in nature, like the nature gives you everything. It gives you the backstage, you don't need to do anything to make it more nice. You are just one little piece in nature. But at home, you have to create a story. And the dances became more like storytelling or more focused on little aspects rather than how the place makes you feel. And now I kind of like that. So I will try to kind of do this both outside dancing and at home dancing, keep it together. So that's the plan. Also, I want to, I have some, it's kind of like playlists, ancient theater series, or a special place in different seasons series. So I will continue those. So those will keep growing. But now I also think how to find music, like to ask musicians I know, amateur musicians I know, if they would be willing to provide a piece of music. Because I think that way it becomes more, it'll take it to an interesting direction, like not just maybe already known tunes, but also to make use of, other spontaneous music, maybe if someone has it. So these are the plans.
Sounds very good plans. Kunde is saying that I think she has danced, I think you have danced on every continent, save for Antarctica.
No, I have never been to Africa.
Okay.
And as Far East Asia goes, I've been to India, but back then I was not doing Kimilti, so I was not dancing. So those two continents are left out for now.
Yes, Oslem is also saying that Oslem is hoping that you could continue traveling. And I was very curious, in your video, in the last text, there was actually mentioning about a ballet in Espoo here in Finland. Have you been traveling in Finland too?
Yes, actually, we lived in Finland for a year. Okay. And Cindy here was my English teacher. And when we arrived, I didn't know any English, but I had to learn it in order to continue with school. I was at 6th grade. And she is one of the people to thank for that I could continue with ballet, because we would have our private English lessons. And afterwards, she would drive me to the ballet school there at Espoo. And then later on, I think my parents would pick me up to go back home, or I would take a bus. So that's the connection with Espoo from year 2000.
So you came all the way to Finland to learn English.
Yes.
That sounds very good. What does Kimilti means in Turkish? What does it mean?
It comes from a verb called kımıldamak. It means to make little moves, but like little spontaneous fidgety moves. Like when you listen to music and you start doing this just because you feel like it. So that's what it means, just to, to move a little.
To move little, and it seems like that you are moving so much and doing so much elegant moves in the nature. So I was thinking that as this is a question and answer, what would you like to, Kimilti, what would you like to ask from your audience now? What would be your questions to us?
Actually, I was wondering as I watched this, so if they thought about how different it was compared to a normal dance show. Like if your friend invites you, they say, "Look, I've got tickets for Swan Lake Opera, 8 p.m. on Saturday," and here it wasn't like that. Like there was no set place. So I wondered if they thought about what the word stage can mean.
That is a great question. Who would like to answer this question? Please, you can put your microphone on and just answer. Would you like to see this as how can you compare this to going to opera at 8 p.m. if there's no seats?
Well, I think this is a new norm for performing arts, I'm really hoping that, festivals like this we can hopefully have a virtual component to all the events. So maybe if we do like a in-house performance with this medium now, that we can have it also being live streamed at the same time. And that's the way I look at it. It's not like Xing out one, it's more complementary. And that's hopefully, if that answers the question, that's hopefully what this, I think this Zoom and this streaming stuff will become. I'm hoping, because nothing replaces the in-person experience, or Did that answer the question at all? Or Cindy, maybe you can answer it better.
Repeat the question, please.
How do you compare? How do you see this kind of a form of art as compared to traditional?
Okay.
Art forms like
you're talking about the dance, not the fact that we're watching it. I answered the completely wrong answer.
Okay, yeah, I was confused about the question.
And I was confused, and it's my fault. And I just want to say, how does it compare? It's completely unique, Gizem. So I don't think you want to compare it. I think it's what you want to say. It's your form. So I think it's your voice. So of course it doesn't compare to anything else, because there's only one you.
Yeah.
So I would just don't worry about it. Maybe the New York Philharmonic or the ballet will do stuff outside like you and copy you. That's what I would be waiting for.
Yeah, the same thing I was thinking of it. Your dance can only be on film because you're taking little teeny pieces of your experience of nature all around the world. So it would be impossible for people to watch you live. So collecting them all together in this little film, it almost made me cry. It was just so beautiful with the music and everything, bringing it back and forth. That can't be done any other way. That was just beautiful.
Did this answer your question?
Yes, and it was nice to hear. Like these were things I would maybe not have thought, so it was nice to hear.
Yes, and also let me also saying that that would not go to classic ballet shows normally. So that's also that this can open some new windows. So you're saying it's like fidgeting or wiggling kind of thing that you were saying, what was happening.
Yeah, that's what she said earlier. She said it was sort of like fidgeting. If you hear music, you start to just wiggle, move to it. Yes. So it's a fun name too.
It's a very fun name.
It just even gives more depth to actually what's going on, because you say, oh, look, beautiful mountains and clouds. Whoops, there's a girl dancing right in the middle of it together with the trees and the grass and everything. And it's really, really fun and moving.
That's right. And I was just wondering, because, this festival is also all about bringing people together. And I was just wondering, maybe in the future, maybe we could dance at the same time in different locations. We could do a virtual kind of art
You know, Marcus, why
collaboration
don't
of
we
art.
start now? Why don't we start now?
Yeah,
You know,
let's do it.
you're the one who brought it up. I'm getting
Okay.
up. I'm getting up. There we go. I'm in LA.
Okay, there we go, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday, the Morris dancers were dancing all in
That's
different
right.
places.
They were, and today we had danceability.
Okay.
That was great.
Oh, I missed about 3 hours today.
So, Kimilti, do you have another question for us? What would you like to ask?
Actually, I would like Ecem to tell a little bit about what it feels like to be the cameraman behind. Because normally camera crew is pretty steady, right? Like they're given a job, they're given a place to, you know, they have a seat that is rolling or someone kind of moving them around. But I kind of want her to tell how it feels to be a cameraman for Kimilti.
I guess you have to adapt fast. Because I mean, if she finds some place she likes, and we usually don't have a lot of time to film. So we don't have the chance to film a few shots to make sure that we're able to take everything or it looks nice. So you need to be quite adaptive to the surroundings and also exam.
Do you have a
With
feeling?
this, I kind of want to ask. Sorry.
Sorry, it's okay.
Yeah. So with this, I kind of want to ask what you think when you think of a cameraman. Like, how would you compare their job to the person in front of the camera? Because there's also a lot behind the camera. But did you ever consider that?
That is a great question. That's the different angle, the point of view. How would we like to answer this question?
I think that nobody thinks about the camera person, really. If the camera person is doing a good job, people don't think about them because they're doing a good job, and you are watching what the camera person is watching, and they probably don't get the credit they should get because we don't think of them so much.
So maybe I would have an urge to start dancing myself too. Is it hard sometimes to hold you back then, not go with it? That is a question to you. Do you sometimes feel like dancing yourself too behind the camera?
Ecem.
I mean, maybe sometimes, but I think I like to take the videos more than dancing. It's more, I enjoy it more. I mean, I would like if we could be able to maybe take a few shots, maybe from if we would have time and we would have the opportunity, then I would like that more. I don't think I want to dance that much in the videos.
That's spontaneously.
Thank you so much.
But also here, what is interesting is it's not just the choreographer, me, who makes the story, but it's also the person filming it because they try their angles or they see something I would not have seen. And then they tell me afterwards, Gizem, this looked nice. So you can, think like this the next time you find a spot, try to get this kind of light, things like that.
So we need to learn more respect for the camera people.
Yes, definitely. You have a major role in this.
Yes.
So we are running out of time, and I would like to ask you, where should we see you next time? What is the address that we can find you, and what is the social media that we can find? Can you write it in the chat box, maybe?
Yes, from YouTube and Instagram. Wait, how should we? Should we put the link or?
Yeah, put the link in the chat. And go to her YouTube page and like it, everybody, please.
I really like your dancing in various environments. It was very beautiful. And you've been to Finland with you know how our nature looks, and somehow, if you're not usually dancing on the streets, you might become danceable when you're walking in the nature, and somehow the environment invites you to have a little bit of freedom. But I think after seeing your film, I'm more courageous in expressing myself like you are doing. But also I have a thought that of using that camera as a tool to also to be mobile. So usually people shoot videos where it's straight up from one angle, but like Markus mentioned, you are now bringing me this idea. I've learned today that also the camera crew can be mobile and somehow take new perspectives to the environment where that mobility happens. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Brother Markus. We have a comment from Cindy.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell people from Finland that she lived here when she was 9 years old. She turned 10 in February. She came in May and they left in May. They were 1 year. It was the first year in Finnish history that I know of that the sea did not freeze over. So she wanted to dance on the ice or be on the ice, and there we had none that year. And it was also the first year that the Canada geese raided Espoo. We had never seen them before. So she brought Canada geese and left with them in the spring.
This is a nice connection also with Cindy and Kimilti here in No Labels, No Walls Festival.
Yeah.
And it's nice that you can reconnect and have a
yes,
over here.
It is. It's wonderful.
Yes. So now we're saying thank you so much, Kimilti, for your art and for your dance, and we wish you all the best for the future.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your questions and comments. Like, they were very inspiring for us as well.
Yes, well, we were very inspired too, and we'll check you out in the next few. You said that every Friday you're going to have a new video, or is it
yes,
Sunday
Friday or Saturday.
Okay. Very good, very good. So thank you so much.
And everybody, don't go anywhere. Markus, do you want to plug the next events?
Yes, after this event, we are watching a video from Valopaja. After that, we are moving to America, talking about disability issues. We continue with the evening about questions concerning entrepreneurship with people with disabilities. And after that, we are back in the United States with Chirla, and we have a 2 hours event with a lot of interesting topics. So stick around and also join into these Zoom sessions. So there's a possibility to have this international dialogue all night long.
That's right, all night. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and see you later. Have a nice evening.